As a nation, we continue to struggle with how best to make health care widely available to all. But sometimes making treatment available isn't about cost, it's about access. One University of Michigan researcher realized that cerebral palsy patients had a difficult time getting the physical therapy they needed as they got older. And that led to an innovation that is improving people's lives. Nancy McCauley has the story.
This is a story of worlds colliding. Marilyn Rowe was living a rock and roll life.
I've pretty much always been a musician since I was 17 and played in a lot of different bands, and I was a bass player at the time.
Then one day, unexpectedly, everything changed.
I had the worst headache of my life ever. I came downstairs for dinner and walked across the floor and kind of just melted. It was a hemorrhagic stroke. 3 weeks I was in a coma, and the physical therapist came to move my legs and my arms because of blood clots. I was trapped in my own body.
Edward Hurwitz chairs the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation.
How has the pain been? Has it been under control?
It's under control.
Okay, good.
Having worked with children with pediatric cerebral palsy for 23 years, Dr. Hurwitz has seen some of his early patients with CP grow up and get worse.
I saw adults with cerebral palsy falling off in their functions, and this is something that's reported all over. Less able to walk, less able to use their arms, finding they're not able to do the kind of things that they used to do. We used to say that their cerebral palsy was getting worse, but that doesn't happen. What happens is that individuals with cerebral palsy just need to be more functional, more active to keep practicing the kind of skills that they were doing as children in therapy. Unfortunately, adults, especially higher functioning adults, adults with spouses and children and jobs and so forth, find it hard to get to a therapy center and meet with a therapist. It's hard to find the time, it's hard sometimes to find the transportation, and if the insurance isn't covering it, it's hard to find the resources to do it.
Susan Brown is an associate professor at the university's School of Kinesiology. She collaborated with Dr. Hurwitz on a pilot study for an intervention, but one aimed at kids with CP.
What we wanted to do was to develop a program or test out a program where we would send some of our movement science students into the home or the school setting and work with these children once a day or twice a day, 5 days a week, over 6 weeks, doing activities that kids enjoy doing. So depending on their interests, it might be playing ball, it might be baking cookies, it might be swimming. And then we would assess them here in the laboratory before and after the training program, and we found that they actually improved their function even though this was not really an intensive program. It's fun, it's enjoyable, so it doesn't really seem like therapy, I suppose. So we looked at the results and realized that this might be applicable to older individuals with cerebral palsy.
To transfer the benefits from the pilot study with children to a workable therapy for adults, an intervention was needed that was adaptable, inexpensive, and could fit into a grown-up schedule. The result was the Upper Limb Training and Assessment Program, or ULTrA.
So this is our ULTrA board, and it's an interactive training unit that we use with folks that have upper limb disabilities.
Motor Control Lab manager Kathy Kern gave me a workout on the ULTrA board.
You're going to touch the light and then come back and touch the light until it stops.
All right, so I follow the light. All right.
You follow the light. So
Okay.
you would be sitting here and you would do this. You'd hit begin, and the light will light up, and you touch,
Okay.
back, and touch.
Why am I doing this? What is it doing for me?
So that you can use this arm that you don't normally use. So you're going to reach for something and touch it, and you wouldn't normally be doing that in everyday life. So we're trying to get you to do something that you wouldn't normally do.
I understand. So we're retraining the brain.
We're retraining the brain, that's right.
And you're collecting all this data so that you know if I'm improving.
Correct, absolutely. And the computer will show you how well you did. See that?
I got an applause. This is good.
And a backflip.
One of the other exciting things about ULTrA is that it not only addresses the movement and the motor sense, but also addresses the sensory system. There's testing and training that we do with ULTrA to help how someone feels things, gets the sense of what their fingers are touching, which is something that's also injured when someone has cerebral palsy or a stroke and so forth.
There's a little basket, and without sight, you want to reach into the basket and you want to feel for what's in there based on what it tells you to pull out. So you're going to feel for that letter D and you're going to pull it out.
We're just now starting to understand how much our sensory system affects how we move, how we function, and I think that's a big reason we're seeing such improvement in these patients.
So you're measuring all this data. You're collecting all this data.
Yes, we are.
In real time.
In real time. In real time. So there would be somebody on the screen helping them through what they're doing and helping them along and encouraging them.
A little cheerleader.
Little
Yeah.
cheerleader, yeah. It's really a lot of fun.
But these live coaches offer more than just motivation.
I think it does form a bond, a connection. People are more motivated to do it. And it also helps us be able to progress them as they achieve some level of improvement to then make the task a little bit more challenging, a little more difficult, which is hard to do if you just send someone home with an exercise program.
So do you have any fatigue or soreness in your arm at all so far?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, good.
It's a great learning experience for the students. This is not just experience with research, but from an educational point of view, it gives them firsthand experience working with people with disabilities, because most of these students are going on to the health profession.
All right, try to not move your entire body forward. Try and sit up straight and move from your shoulder only.
In addition to the raw data, the team is getting valuable anecdotal feedback too.
Very excited with one individual who halfway through the program said that he, for the first time, actually used his affected arm, which was his right arm, to actually turn the key in his car because the training had led to improvement in his ability to control movement of that arm. When we had these results and they were so solid, we thought what other populations might be able to benefit. And in fact, from the movement therapy perspective, most work has actually been done in individuals who have had a stroke.
Which brings our story back to Marilyn. Even though she had made remarkable progress in her overall movement and flexibility, the idea of trying a new therapy wasn't immediately appealing.
I said, well, I'm kind of afraid to do it because it's almost been 10 years and I don't want to know what I can't do.
But with the support of a friend, Marilyn gave the ULTrA system a try.
They would come on every day via Skype and we would go through a certain routine. And then I started realizing that from going and separating my fingers and tapping different things, that my fingers were getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And then one day after 2 months, I picked up my 12 string and I could play a chord. I haven't played my guitar in 10 years.
That must have been so emotional for you.
Oh, I cried. I cried hard. I cried hard when the doctor told me I was never going to play again, too. But I proved him wrong. I played again. Sound man says cool.
10 years after a stroke left her partially paralyzed and in a coma, the ULTrA motion therapy system put Marilyn back in the band.
This type of movement training is important, it's valuable, and the sooner that we are able to implement this in terms of rehabilitation and healthcare, I think the better we'll all be. So to be part of that is just really exciting.
It changed my life because I thought I had progressed as far as I was going to ever progress. It feels wonderful.
Researchers at the University of Michigan hope ULTrA's repetitive motion therapy process can be expanded to help people with other disabilities like spinal cord injuries, multiple sclerosis, and physical disabilities due to aging.